The situation with Steamboat Willie is getting spicier and spicier, if you can believe it. Mickey Mouse now in a tussle between content creators who want full access to the rodent and a Walt Disney Company who recognizes that's their trademark. Where is the line between Steamboat Willie and other iterations of Mickey Mouse? You all want the answers? We've got them. How? We've got an attorney who's here to share with us his thoughts on trademarks, copyrights, and everything in between. Folks, welcome back. Happy to have each and every one of you here on the WDW Pro channel. What a joy it is to share time with you, and it's an honor when you elect to do so with us. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve, it's our job to do just that, and today we're going to explain entertainment in a way that helps you understand what the guidelines, what the rules are for Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie, and the future of bringing these cartoons into the public domain. It's the wild, wild west, and we're likely to be seeing massive litigation over the coming years. How do we keep you out of trouble if you want to use one of these characters or likenesses? And what about voices? What about any of that? Well, we'll explain it all. Let's bring in the panel right now. It seems like some people, when Steamboat Willie went into public domain, they thought Mickey himself and in totality was in the public domain. So let's get the answer from Andrew on this one. Andrew, what do you think?
So am I concerned about this with my project, which, is Cedar Creek, which just dropped today? I am not concerned at all whatsoever. And I think most creators that are creating anything out there regarding this are not worried about it whatsoever, because in addition to public domain, most of what people are creating would be covered under parody or other fair use exception, even if it was copyrightable. But it's not at all. The thing about public domain people need to understand is, public domain, there's no copyright owner whatsoever. It belongs to the public. What Disney retains is a trademark. They retain a trademark. And they have said, and their threat is, if you infringe upon our trademark or make it seem like this is coming for Disney or from Disney, we are going to come for you. So I think the people that are not careful about making it seem like it comes from Disney or could come from Disney or not putting a disclaimer up might have a problem. But for my remedy to all this is drop a very clear legal disclaimer. This is my general advice, not personal legal advice, but drop a disclaimer that makes it clear this is not associated with Disney or any company at all whatsoever. Make sure it's only the product of the authors. That's very clear. And you should be flying well clear of Disney's legal threats.
And the magic word, I'm no lawyer, but I've negotiated a lot of contracts over the years, is when you read this statement from Disney, it says, we want to make sure our fans aren't confused. They're not using the word confusion randomly. Specifically, the law says you violate if a quote-unquote reasonable person, oh, you lawyers and your reasonable people, might make the mistake of thinking this was really us and not you. And anything that's a parody and that comes out front and says it is, look at all the stuff that South Park has done. Nobody's suing them over it because they know they can't. Or don't look at, there are umpteen million pornographic takeoffs on all the superheroes. Right?
Yeah,
correct.
With better costumes.
Rule 34 is a rule for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into this with specificity. Go ahead, Jonas.
Nintendo back in the day fought that stuff by just buying the rights to even the parodies.
Yep.
So,
well, yeah, that's why Disney.
I can't believe that actually worked. By the way,
that's why
I wouldn't recommend that strategy.
That's why it's always Disney's.
They still have it in the vault. Like if they wanted to, Nintendo could go, "Hey, you want to see the adult Mario parody?"
No, we don't.
But that's
we don't
why,
exactly, and that's why they bought it and shut it down.
That's why Disney's is always Disney's Snow White, Disney's Little Mermaid, because we know, going back to those original, the new golden age of Aladdin and the rest of it, man, the cheap animation houses in Asia in particular were churning out these things saying, well, it's a fairy tale. We can do a fairy tale as long as we don't say it's Disney's version of the fairy tale. And they were on sale at Walmart for $1.50 a piece, So this isn't as big a deal as everybody's making it out to be, as far as there will not be prosecutions of anybody who isn't stupid.
First, let's do the news. Here we go. Mickey Mouse horror movie trailer drops. Film uses Steamboat Willie version of the character that's now in public domain. This out of Deadline by Tom Tapp. Now that is a name. Tom Tappity Tap. At 12:01 a.m. this morning, that was yesterday, the earliest iteration of one of the world's most beloved children's characters entered the public domain. Shortly thereafter, the trailer for a slasher film called Mickey's Mousetrap was posted online. I have a feeling, guys, that the Mousetrap website, which does Disney parody stories, they probably are pretty pleased with that. They're going to get some traffic. In it, clips from Walt Disney's 1928 animated classic Steamboat Willie are shown interspersed with newly shot footage that tells the story of a mouse mask-wearing killer who stalks college-age kids at an arcade. Here's the log line.
They've got the ages all wrong there.
Here's the log line. It's Alex's 21st birthday, but she's stuck at the amusement arcade on a late shift, so her friends decide to surprise her, but a masked killer, dressed as Mickey Mouse, decides to play a game of his own with them, which she must survive. We won't play the trailer, folks, but you can find it. The film was shot, edited, and directed by Jamie Bailey and written by Simon Phillips. A trailer for the Steamboat Willie-inspired horror game Infestation 88 also dropped earlier today. So is there a lawsuit in the filmmaker's future? Here's what it says. More modern versions of Mickey will remain unaffected by the expiration of the Steamboat Willie copyright, and Mickey will continue to play a leading role as a global ambassador for the Walt Disney Company in our storytelling, theme park attractions, and merchandise. A Disney spokesperson said of the do's and don'ts of the sound-synced film entering the public domain today. By the way, does anybody know the Gaucho cartoon that I think came out the same year? Is it also in the public domain?
Yes, it is.
It would be, yeah. And also Peter Pan is in the public domain.
Plain Crazy. One of those, I forget if it's Plain Crazy or the other one, have been one of them has been lost. And then, of course, if you want to see Disney characters smoking, Walt in El Grupo, do believe there's Goofy smoking in that one.
We will, of course, continue to protect our rights in the more modern versions of Mickey Mouse and other works that remain subject to copyright, and we will work to safeguard against consumer confusion caused by unauthorized uses of Mickey and our other iconic characters the company added. Now, here's where it gets complicated, okay? And we've got this here, good enough, I would say, to have a look at it and see. The mask is not one-to-one, I don't think, with Steamboat Willie. It's definitely Mickey, but I don't know that it's a one-to-one. Where's the line here, Andrew? How do we figure this out?
Well, I mean, first of all, just to be very clear, that's a corporate statement that was made in general about their enforcement of their trademark rights. It wasn't made
not in direct. Yes,
it was not made in response to this game. Because obviously there's lots of media that's dropping. There's the horror game Infestation. So this is Infestation 88. There's also Mouse that's coming out. There's plenty of other stuff that's coming out. So that was not necessarily in reaction to that. However, they did anticipate, of course, that when this expires, there's going to be tons of stuff coming out. Although I don't think they've anticipated Cedar Creek. I don't think they're ready for it. But that being said, here, what we have here is we have a mask that is generally similar to Mickey Mouse. And what they've said is, look, there's modern iterations of it. If you pull up, there's a scale of Mickey Mouse. I don't know if you can pull this up behind the scenes or something. But what they're looking at is the more modern version, so colorized. Some might say with like red, the red shorts. There's also more fine detail and more modern drawing styles. So anything that you would recognize from a more modern piece, they're saying that they're going to enforce their rights to that. This one, because it seems like it's at least influenced by Steamboat Willie, maybe it's not one-to-one. It doesn't have to be one-to-one. It could be inspired by the original piece as long as it's not something that is clearly copying a more modern variation. And by the way, I will say that argument they're making that the modern variation is protected is a loose one, because actually, if you look at Steamboat Willie, one of the things they bring up is like the gloves, for example. Well, in the intro to Steamboat Willie, Mickey is wearing gloves. Now, he's not wearing gloves in the actual short, but if you look at the beginning, which is Mickey Mouse in Steamboat Willie, you have Minnie and Mickey presenting. They're both wearing gloves, right? So you've got to say, okay, that's something that we think of as a more modern feature, which may not actually be as protected as Disney wants it to be. So I think there's potential for Disney to get themselves into a lawsuit in the future that I think they might lose if they tried to pick a fight over something like gloves.
Do you think that Disney would be willing to fight against those pieces of satire that they see so fit? Excellent job, Jonas. Do you think that Disney might take this fight, knowing that they will probably lose, but they want to make it prohibitively expensive for those who might try to take Mickey and push it slightly beyond Steamboat Willie?
So I will say this. Disney's strategy for the longest time, and you can see that in their lawsuit with Florida, is to bury you in litigation and procedural, let's say it tricks. Procedural pixie dust. That's been their strategy for the longest time. And in fact, what they would do is they'll go and sue you in all 50 states, right? They'll say, oh, well, that's nice that you're doing this thing, but we're going to sue you everywhere we possibly can, and then some. And in federal court, too, just in case. Just so you have to... Just so
in The Hague,
and in DC, in The Hague, in DC, in Puerto Rico, like
yeah, you're sued everywhere, right? You're there's like, oh yeah, Guam, you're gonna have to go there too.
Yeah.
But that being said,
American Virgin Islands.
This is the reverse for them. They're gonna have to engage in lawsuits all across the country, as well as international lawsuits. Like, good luck suing people in other countries.
Well, what about the name Mickey Mouse, Andrew? Steamboat Willie. I don't know if Mickey Mouse is ever the name is ever used
explicitly, repeatedly. In fact, the intro, it's Mickey Mouse in Steamboat Willie. Some person who kind of pushed up their glasses like Wasserman's glasses down there, just pussing them up and said, hey, actually, Steamboat Willie is the name of the steamboat. It's actually Mickey Mouse in Steamboat Willie. So that's actually supposed to be the name of the actual short. So that's not... Yeah.
So does the name go into the public domain? Can you use now the name Mickey Mouse?
It would seem that you can. The argument is it is Mickey Mouse and Steamboat Willie. Now, my counter argument is, if you want to stay free and clear and you want to coast that this is undisputably in the public domain, taking out Mickey Mouse is the safer route, especially if you just use the term Steamboat Willie. That's what I'm opting to use in City Creek, is Steamboat Willie, because that's clearly covered by public domain. But that being said, I think that there is a clear case that Mickey Mouse is in the public domain by Steamboat Willie.
So let's have some fun with some hypotheticals.
Right there. This is it right here. This is the intro to Steamboat Willie. Look at this. Disney presents a Mickey Mouse sound cartoon. And look at Mickey. He's got shoes on.
I'm more concerned with what Minnie's wearing.
Easy, Spencer, easy.
Yeah, I'm not sure she's even wearing a top in the actual cartoon.
Is that a coconut? Like, what is that she's...
I don't know.
It's Mouse Anatomy was confused in this cartoon. I'll say that.
He also has striped pants here, which is
my
strange.
vest. See my vest.
Made from real gorilla chest.
Gorilla chest.
All right. Let's have some fun with some hypotheticals.
Can I pay Spencer and Andrew a compliment in true style of this?
Please.
Some imagination, huh?
Pure imagination.
Positively phantasmic, I tell you.
Gentlemen, let's play a hypothetical here. What if there was a channel out there which covered Disney quite often, and they wanted to have Steamboat Willie riding a black and white hippo over Bob Iger as he calls out, "It's too dang hot"? Is that permissible, do you think, even if it was animated and for profit?
Absolutely. That's absolutely permissible.
Sounds fair to me.
In fact, that sounds like we're going to have to add that in a panel. That sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty
Jonas, good. Get your ink, get your quill ready. I think we're on call now to make it happen.
Of all the skills that I happen to have brought into my YouTube producer toolkit, I don't think animation is high.
And drawn, Jonas. The people expect it. Come on.
Hey, wait. Right. If they actually build a Reedy Creek prison, can you guys sue them because you had the merch first?
That's a great point. It's the happiest jail on earth.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Although now Jonas has corrected me, it should be the most magical jail on earth.
That's
of course.
Yes.
The most fun jail.
All right, that's it. That's the end. It's over. This video is not in the public domain, however, but it's publicly available. So get out there and watch this video again if you need to take notes on when and when not to use Mickey Mouse or any of the other characters. Folks, it's complicated, but we're happy to bring it down at the level where anyone can understand. One thing we need you to understand, though, is if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe. And when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun.